of working with me or with another facilitator, people come to internalize these questions themselves, and then they don't need a facilitator.
Yeah.
You can have that same experience from attending a workshop, and some people, get it in a day, and some people get it in a couple hours in a class. Others need, depending on the issues and how stressful their particular thoughts might be, a little bit more time.
I'm sitting here listening to you. I want to pay you a compliment. You are a natural-born teacher.
Thank you. Thank you.
So how did you come to learn of the work?
Well, it was interesting. I was experiencing a lot of stress myself kind of near the end of my career. Part of it was just coming at retirement and wondering, who was I going to be when I wasn't a school principal anymore. As it turned out, I've not really stopped being a school principal, but at the time I thought I was going to, and I was feeling a lot of stress about that. Also experiencing a lot of stress in my relationship with my wife at the time. And I went to lunch with a good friend of mine, a colleague, another principal who had retired a few years before me, and kind of talking through this transition and asking his advice. And he recommended a book to me and gave me the title and the author of the book, and I dutifully the next day...
Is that the book right there by any chance?
No, it isn't.
Okay.
Actually, but I found the book that way. I took his recommendation. I went to the library and I found the book, and next to it was this book,
okay.
Loving What Is, which is the work of Byron Katie. It's her first book and the book that really explains the work in detail. It's where I would recommend people that want to start by reading a book start. I found this book along with the book my friend had recommended, took both home. I started reading Katie's book, and I never even read the other book. I can't tell you what it was, who the author was. I never got that far. I started immediately getting excited about this. Called my wife and look at this stuff. And I started doing worksheets. About 2 months later, Katie was giving a workshop here in the Chicago area, and I attended that. It was a weekend workshop, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Did your wife go with you?
She didn't. She was out of town at the time, and I went. Actually, my mother-in-law, of all people, went with me. She was interested too, so the two of us went. And I got so excited by that experience that weekend that I ended up going to the 9-day school a couple months after that, right as I retired in June of 2007. And it's been just nonstop since then.
And so how have you used the work personally?
Well, I've used it personally just to help me with my stressful thoughts. So originally it was a lot about my relationship with my wife and clarifying that, and she did a lot of work with me as well. It was also about my career and the ending of my career and what I was going to do and who I was going to be, and just clarifying that. And I just got in the practice of doing it regularly. In the beginning, that was with a lot of partners, and there are some different ways of doing that, of organizing and finding other people that will do the work with you, and I did that regularly. So it became a daily habit, similar to a meditation practice, but the habit of doing the work. We'll talk about, having the work for breakfast, getting up, identifying stressful thoughts, working through it, and just keeping that in front of me. And then as I became more and more familiar with the work, I started offering it to other people and offering introductions and doing some classes at my church, at Infinity Foundation, at other sites, and seeing private clients. And what I've discovered is that in doing that work, I'm also always doing my work.
Well, that's like massage. They say you give a massage, you get a massage. Same thing. You do the work, you get the work.
These concepts that we believe we take as being personal, and they're really not. They're very universal. The thoughts of, people don't like me, or I should be appreciated, I don't have enough money, I weigh too much. These are thoughts that many, many people have. And so they're not that unusual. And often in a class, for example, in a group, one person may come up and be doing a facilitation with me, and they're working on their belief. I'll often turn to the others that are in the class and get them to work through their reactions, their answers to those questions with that belief that a different person is identified, but it becomes their belief too. It's something they can look at.
Is that because of the collective consciousness that like these stressful or negative thoughts like through osmosis, we pick it up?
Well, I think thoughts happen. You know, we believe we think, but thoughts happen, and thoughts happen to us when we're early in life. We hear things and then we believe them. We hear someone tell us we're no good, and then we may believe that for the rest of our lives. And if it goes unexamined, that can really cause a lot of pain in someone's life. And to have it actually be questioned, well, is it true that you're not worth anything? Is that really true? Can you absolutely know that? How do you react when you believe that? Who would you believe? Who would you be if you didn't? Now, once that concept starts to get questioned, other people loosen their attachment to that concept too.
I have a friend who's a physician. He says like 60% of what I know in medicine now is going to be like all wrong 10 years from now.
Yeah, it does shift. It does shift.
Yeah. Well, and I must say it was nice to hear that your church lets you facilitate. Mm-hmm. That's pretty progressive church. Mm-hmm. They weren't threatened by the work?
No, not at all. In fact, I think I've found that the work is very compatible with religious beliefs. It isn't a religion. It isn't a, particularly Christian or Buddhist or Muslim or anything. But my experience is that when people go inside and they really get in touch with the wisdom within, it can deepen their faith in whatever tradition they might practice.
Yeah, and but even religion people's religious beliefs or religious upbringing could cause
absolutely
stress.
It's a source of a lot of beliefs that we have and a lot of thoughts. Some of them can cause stress, absolutely, and those can be questioned as well.
Yeah, and so if somebody wants to, we have 2 minutes, Paul.
Okay.
Somebody wants to set an appointment up with you. Do you send them the questions and say, fill this out to get a running start?
Generally not. Sometimes if someone wants to get a start, I can send them a worksheet and they can fill that out, bring the completed worksheet to me, so when we sit down we can get going right from that. But we can sit down and often, if somebody's brand new to the work, they'll want a little bit of an intro first.
Now,
anyway.
Do you record your sessions?
Generally not, no.
But you allow your clients?
If they wanted to, sure.
Well, we have about a minute and a half, so why don't I turn the floor over to you and just say what you're doing a great job. Just say what else you think is important to reiterate.
I think just to sum it up, the work is a simple method of first identifying and then really questioning the beliefs that we have, the thoughts that cause stress in our lives, that cause all the stress in the world. It's a very simple method that anyone with an open mind can learn in a half hour. And it can be facilitated by a trained facilitator like myself. There are classes that are offered at Infinity and other locations. There are private sessions available. There's also a wonderful website on the work that offers resources and a helpline that people can utilize as well.
Yeah, and where do you see the future of the work going?
I just see it spreading. The more people that learn how to use it, the more people they touch with that, and this can change the world.
All right. Well, you've been listening to our guest, Paul Zavagno?
Zavagno, right.
Zavagno.
Right.
For more information about Paul, the work, Infinity Foundation, or InnerQuest, stay tuned to the credits at the end. Until next time, we wish you good health, good spirits, and good fortune.
Thank you, Jay.
Paul.
For more information about this show, our guests, Infinity Foundation, or any of our other programs, please visit our website, infinityfoundation.org, or call us at 847-831-8828.